evening. First of all, I would like to apologize for the start of today's event. That isn't how we planned. I'm very sorry. I welcome you all, our stakeholders, to the new Media Hub 10 Plus Bites here in Osu, Accra, Ghana, to this special occasion. And I'm honored to be a moderator for today's event, which is a remarkable one. My name is Joyce Hilda Ifiabuaje, and I'll be reading the sections I've said. Without saying much, I'd like to call on our Deputy Executive Director in the person of Mr. Sam to formally welcome all of us and to tell us the purpose for today's event. Mr. Jeremiah Sam. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you.
On behalf of our Executive Director and the team at 10 Plus Bites, I welcome you all to our new Media Hub as we mark the beginning of our celebration of the Global Media Information Literacy Week, which actually is going to start tomorrow, 24th, and end on the 31st of October, with the theme, Resisting Disinfodemics, Media and Information Literacy for Everyone and by Everyone. Indeed, this is a very inclusive theme, which interestingly underpins and underlines all our innovations, projects at 10 Plus Bites, especially when we are delivering our good governance projects. For instance, under our Africa Elections project, which began in 2008, we have worked to include all citizens to be part and owners of our elections. We have created platforms, we've created tools that make sure that citizens have access to credible information, and at the same time use motion graphics, digital tools to let citizens become aware of the dangers of misinformation and sharing false news around elections. Our work around elections on the African continent has brought us very close to the workings of the media, and why the media or some media houses and journalists will engage in misinformation, use clips, fuel hate speeches, which all contribute to tensions and giving reason for some African or authoritative governments to threat or outrightly shut down social media platforms. In 2016, we all woke up one day to the threat of shutting down our social media platforms and basically shut down online engagements around elections. The main excuse being that it provides a platform for people to share false news, rumors, hate speeches, which will mar our elections or the peaceful nature of our elections. It was a shock to us at 10 Plus Bites because we are taking it for granted that Ghana is the beacon of democracy, and there's no way we're going to experience what other autocratic governments experience. So we have to strategize. Interestingly for us at that time, we had the project with the Deutsche Welle Academy around Social Media Tracking Center. And the platform was basically to work around developing tools that will track and trace violence and provide an early warning system to the electoral management bodies. So then we had to strategize with DW Academy, engage the police service, and provide alternative solutions to shutting down social media platforms. So that's when we embarked on our media information literacy drive. So the first thing we had to do was to create awareness of the dangers of spreading misinformation, getting citizens to become critical and analytical users of media content, and also orienting them on how to access relevant information, how to share them, and even creating their own information and act on misinformation and become themselves fact checkers. Over the years, we have collaborated with DW Academy, the School of Communication Studies at the University of Ghana. And last year, we were fully entangled with the Ghana Commission of UNESCO in devising ways that we can get citizens to become critical and analytical users of media. How can they fact check content that comes to them? How can they quell the spread of misinformation? The purpose of our meeting here is basically to look at what the global event poses for us and how can we use all the things that will come around it. How do we leverage on the highlighting of media information literacy around our elections, which comes at a time when we are also combating the pandemic. And this is very important that we all get involved in it. That we all get involved in the Global Week and make sure that we're not only talking about the pandemic and the spread of misinformation. And in fact, the spread of misinformation around the pandemic is actually a life or death matter, because if you receive false news, then you end up engaging in practices which do not augur well for you and even the nation. So we need to leverage this week and looking at how we can use whatever we learn, the practices that we acquire, the skills and knowledge, to also work around elections for Ghana to have a peaceful Ghana elections. We have a new term, which is misinfodemic. A lot of us don't understand what it means, what it entails. And I think this week is the time that we're going to use to have further understanding around this term. So without much ado, I thank you all for coming, and I want you to enjoy the best of the evening. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hassan, he is the Deputy Executive Director here at Penthouse Right, and our Director is in the person of Madam Juliet Amwa. She's currently not here, but she's joining us virtually, so I know she's watching everything that is happening here. So, we know this is a cocktail event, so we don't want to bore you with long speeches and all that, so that we can also have some networking opportunities. So, to make MIL possible, or the MIL possible, Pen Plus Byte is doing this together with other institutions and other stakeholders, so that we can all achieve our dream of making everyone media and information literate. So today we are honored to have our stakeholders in our midst who are joining us to also commemorate today's event. So I would like to call on them to share their perspective on this year's theme, which is resisting this infodemic, media and information literacy for everyone and by everyone. So I'm going to call on Professor Audrey Gajepo, who is the Dean at the School of Information and Communication Studies at the University of Ghana, Legon, to give us her perspective on this year's theme. So with a round of applause, let's welcome Professor Audrey Gajepo.
Thank you, Hilda, for putting me on the spot. But I am a firm believer in media and information literacy, and I think that now more than any time in our history calls for media and information literacy, because as you all know, in today's world, technology makes it possible for us all, everyone, to be both a consumer of media and also a producer of media, and more importantly, a disseminator of media content. And that's where the danger lies. So often, we don't know the source of what we think is news that we consume. Right? We don't know the source. We consume the source. There is no gatekeeper anymore, as we traditionally know it, to verify whether it's true or not, whether it's wholesome or not. And then guess what? Since sometimes it speaks to our base instincts, we disseminate it. And often we want to be the first to disseminate it on other platforms we belong to, and then we perpetuate it. So I think that it's important not only for organizations like ours, the School of Information and Communication Studies. In the last 3 or so years, we've been engaging on media try to sensitize people in the education sector, particularly primary education, GES. We brought together stakeholders there to discuss what we can do. And then teachers as well. It's very important for teachers who teach our children to be sensitized to the importance of media and information literacy. And I think last year at this time, we organized a quiz. And the purpose of our quiz was to see whether tertiary students could spot what was fake and what was not fake. We called it Spot the Fake. Unfortunately, my students didn't win the competition. I think that was won by, who remembers who won the quiz? Pardon? Nafty, yes. Nafty won the quiz. But I think that we need to continue this dialogue. I think that for you members of the press, the traditional media, you're challenged. If everybody can produce news, and sometimes if people are not listening to radio or television, how can you be relevant? And I think that the way you can be relevant would be to position yourselves as the people who people should come to verify whether it's true or not. So that when my mother disseminates a piece of information to me, I can say, did you hear it on traditional media? If you didn't hear it on traditional media, it's probably not true. Okay? But it does call on traditional media themselves to be media and information literate, because ironically, sometimes members of traditional media actually just pass along information they get from social media without verifying. We are in an age of disinformania. There's a disinfodemic, and therefore it's important to show that, for traditional media to show that you are the gatekeepers of truth and fact, so that you will begin to help us. And I think some are already doing it, showing up fake news. We have an election coming up. There's going to be more of an epidemic of fake news. We will count on traditional media to be able to spot the fake in the kinds of election news we have, and help sensitize the general public on how to be better at decoding what they read in social media and in traditional media, and how to have appropriate behavior that does not pass on false, fake, and injurious information. So that would be my 10 cents. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So that was Professor Audrey Gajapo. She's the Dean at the School of Information and Communication Studies at the University of Ghana, and she is also my lecturer, so I'm happy that she's here today. Okay, so we would like to call on DW Academy. DW Academy is our major partner when it comes to media and information literacy, and they have been sponsoring and supporting us all these years, and we are happy to have here Madam Benewa Ofosu, who is the project manager for MIL at DW Academy. Let's give her a round of applause.
Sorry, I'm trying to find somewhere to put my papers. Okay, thank you so much, Hilda. Prof. Audrey has said a lot, so I won't bore you with too much. I'm here on behalf of our country coordinator, Beati Wait, who, because of Corona, can't be here with us. But she's very happy about happenings here, and she extends her regards to everyone. So without talking too much, invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Let me say first of all that DW Academy Ghana is proud of the amazing work FEMPLAS-BITE has been doing. Over the last almost 2 years, we've been working with them to promote media and information literacy in Ghana. We have, through our partnership with them, made tremendous strides, and we are grateful to them for that. DW Academy has, through our local partners, run media and development projects in Ghana since 2014. Part of our focus has been equipping journalists and citizen journalists with new skills needed in order to face the digital challenges. We also aim to support media in getting better access to information. We have since early 2019 focused on the new needs of citizens, especially young citizens, to be able to critically assess, use, and participate in the flow of information on social media. This is why we have, in close partnership with 10 Plus Bytes, built a competence training center for media and information literacy in Ghana, where we have trained several young people from different social and professional backgrounds as multipliers and as consumers and creators of media information. Throughout our offices in different continents across the globe, we have recognized the dangers of disinformation. We have witnessed some of the dangerous consequences thereof. We have also witnessed the proliferation of disinformation, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. This parallel info, or better still disinfodemic, directly impacts lives and livelihoods around the world. We are most grateful to UNESCO for having offered critical insights into COVID-19 related disinformation that is impeding access to trustworthy sources and reliable information. Young people are a great asset with enormous capacity to drive change if harnessed. A media and information literacy industry conducted in several countries show that in Ghana, 3/4 of 15 to 25-year-olds own a smartphone. Over 70% report going online with a mobile phone, as well as using Facebook and WhatsApp on a weekly basis. In addition to young adults above age 25 being active on social media, they amount to a huge part of the population, which, if equipped with MIL, could significantly curb infodemic. In Ghana, we discussed the main findings of this MIL leaders report last year, but internationally, we launched this study on the 28th of this month on Zoom at exactly 1 p.m. You are all warmly invited to join us. In accordance with this year's theme, we believe in media and information literacy for everyone and by everyone. Come 2021, we will of course renew our efforts and continue to, through our partnership with 10 Plus Bytes and other cooperating partners such as Curious Minds, the Ghana Institute of Journalism, University of Ghana, and the Ghana Community Radio Network, to build the capacity of more young people in Ghana to be critical users and creators of media information, leaving no one behind. As part of activities with 10 Plus Bytes next month, we will use a carefully developed manual on media and elections to train some selected youth on how to navigate the media terrain efficiently and understand the scope and extent to which information shapes the electoral process and outcomes. The aim is to enable them to make informed MIL and electoral choices in the December elections. I would like to express our very sincere gratitude to our local partner for their consistent and committed efforts throughout the years, especially to the brilliant staff of 10 Plus Bytes and to the Executive Director, Juliet Amor. Our hearts are with protesters and families in Nigeria who have lost loved ones during the NSAS campaign. We urge everyone, especially the youth, to be diligent and responsible in their creation and dissemination of information about the ongoing protests in Nigeria and the upcoming elections in Ghana. Thank you all so much and have a great evening.
So, I would like to call on another partner, and this partner is an academic institution also, Ghana Institute of Journalism. We've been doing a lot of great things together. So I would like to call upon Dr. Laurentia Ejapong, who is the head of department for the Communication Studies Department at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. She also was my lecturer, and today I'm happy to have her here to also share his perspective on the media and information literacy. Madam, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Hilda. Distinguished invited ladies and gentlemen, and our media partners present here, all protocols observed. I'm very excited to be representing the management of the Ghana Institute of Journalism at this important event. The Ghana Institute of Journalism has been at the forefront of MIL activism in Ghana for the past 4 years. From 2017, we have organized various activities, including stakeholder seminars, that have brought together media practitioners, academics, and civil society organizations to share ideas on how to promote media and information literacy in Ghana. Just last year, with the support of Pen Plus Bytes, DW Academy, and UNESCO, we trained select senior high school students on MIL and arranged for them to have very short internships with reputable media organizations such as TV3, Star FM, Joy News, Daily Graphic, and the Ghanaian Times. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year's celebration, Resisting Disinfodemic, Media and Information Literacy for Everyone and by Everyone, presents for all MIL stakeholders, especially those of us gathered here, the opportunity to once again draw attention to the importance of MIL as a vaccine for disinformation. Resisting disinfodemic is even more crucial for us in Ghana as the 2020 general elections approach. And we believe that MIL is the key to enhancing democratic participation in Ghana, as many citizens depend more on the mass media, including social media, for the information they need to take voting decisions. I believe the various activities lined up for the week celebration, such as the workshops for facilitators of non-formal education program and training of digital content producers, and I'm referring to bloggers, will go a long way in helping to address the crisis of disinformation that is associated with the pandemic and the impending 2020 elections. I will conclude by assuring our stakeholders that we at the Ghana Institute of Journalism recognize that MIL must be given the much-needed attention it deserves in Ghana. As a result of this, the Institute has begun processes to integrate MIL into our curriculum at the Institute. We also have set up a research group whose main focus is on MIL issues. We will be counting on support from our partners, other donor agencies, and governments to make this happen. I wish to extend, on behalf of the management of the Ghana Institute of Journalism, our sincere gratitude to Pen Plus Bytes, DW Academy, and UNESCO for their unflinching support to the Institute in ensuring that media and information literacy becomes available to everyone and used by everyone to resist this epidemic. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lauricia Ichapon. She is the head of department of the Communication Studies Department at JIJ. Doc, thank you so much for that. Next on the bill is our partner, the Ghana National Commission for UNESCO, and representing the Secretary General, Mrs. Amasewa Nekwe Tete, is Mr. Apollonius Asari, who would also share his perspective on media and information literacy. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Mr. Apollonius Asari, representing the Ghana National Commission for UNESCO.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I believe I'm bridging the gap. We had a first man, 3 women in a row, and I've come in. So So I'm bridging the gap. The Executive Director of Pen Plus Bright, who is with us virtually, Deputy ED from Gadepo, Project Manager from MIL, from DW Academy, as well as Dr. Japon from GIS. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. GIG, Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here standing in for the Secretary General of the Ghana Commission for UNESCO. She should have been here, but she's been caught up in another meeting, and she's also with us virtually. We are pleased to be part of this program, which celebrates the Global Media and Information Week. This year's theme, Resisting Disinfodemic, Media and Information Literacy for Everyone, by everyone, will explore the importance of resisting disinformation and discuss the role that many different actors can have in championing information literacy. MIL for all means we must ensure that the citizenry have access to information and can make informed choices based on this. As we combat a new enemy in the form of fake news, this has to be even more important. Information being weaponized, and in this COVID era, and as we approach the presidential and parliamentary elections, it is up to all of us to fight against this. The COVID pandemic exposed us very glaringly the need to get the right information to the people. Some of the markers of this information include information that is verified, timely, in clear language and in various languages that people speak, and with images to help understanding for the non-literates. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the obvious ways to fight this and misinformation is to saturate the media space with the right information, attractively packaged, and we urge all media producers to take cognizance of this in their work. The demand for MIL has grown considerably, especially with the rise of disinformation and hate speech in recent years. And it is our hope that the MIL Week celebration will leave us with a better understanding of what is media information, literacy, and how stakeholders can foster through MIL the free flow of information and ideas while addressing disinformation and the knowledge needed to resist divisions and build right, respecting society, unity, and cohesion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Commission would therefore like to congratulate Pen Plus Bites for the work it has done in the space over the years and its contribution, in particular, to media and information literacy. On this note, the Commission for UNESCO wishes you success and look forward to future collaborations in this era. Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Apollonius Asari, representing the Secretary General of Ghana National Commission for UNESCO, Mrs. Ama Sewa Nekwe Tete, who is also joining us virtually. Can we please give him a round of applause? Okay. May I please remind you that media and information literacy is under the auspices of UNESCO. So if today we are talking about media and information literacy, or as we would usually refer to it, MIL, it is because UNESCO saw the vision, or they saw a gap that needs to be filled. That is why they came up with the need for everyone to be media and information literate. So today, our guest of honor for this special occasion is no other than the country head of UNESCO, Mr. Abdurrahman Diallo. So he will give his special guest speech and then we will launch today's event. Mr. Abdulrahman Diallo, please welcome. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Madam Professor Audrey Gachipo, Dean, School of Information and Communication Studies, University of Ghana, Mr. Apollonius Assare, representing the Secretary General of National Commission of UNESCO, Madam representing the Director of W Academy, Madam representing the Rector of Ghana Institute of Journalists, dear friends from Pen Press Byte, dear Deputy Director, dear Director Juliet, who is online, dear friends of the media, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to be with you this afternoon on the occasion of the launch of the MIL 2020 edition. It's a very important celebration, Media and Information Literacy Week 2020. This is the 10th annual global celebration of MIL, and this year the theme, Resisting Disinfodemic Media and Information Literacy for Everyone and by Everyone. This theme this year highlights how we can look to addressing disinformation and divides by recognizing our shared interest in improving everyone's competencies. This will enable us to engage with the opportunities and risks in today's landscape of communication, technology, and information. MIL provides everybody with key competencies for lifelong learning in all aspects of our lives. All 17 Sustainable Development Goals resonate with these objectives of MIL as an enabler of civic engagement. Citizens equipped with MIL competencies are informed, engaged, and empowered. They are able to understand the dangers of disinformation as well as the spiral of hatred and exclusion. COVID-19 has produced a range of disinformation types and responses created by many different actors. The emergence of the pandemic had led to a parallel pandemic of disinformation that directly impacts lives and livelihoods around the world. Falsehoods and misinformation have proven deadly and sowed confusion about life-saving personal and policy choices. To assess this misinformation during COVID-19, UNESCO published 2 policy briefs offering critical insights into the fast-growing COVID-19 related disinformation that is impeding access to trustworthy sources and reliable information. This is why this research, in line with UNESCO's role as a laboratory of ID, coined the term disinfodemic to describe the problem. UNESCO officials in Ghana shared these briefs with stakeholders to also help flatten the curve of COVID-19 disinfodemic here in Ghana. Indeed, MIL recognizes the primary role of information and media in our everyday lives. It lies at the core of freedom of expression and information, since it empowers citizens to understand the function of media and other information providers, to critically evaluate their content, and to make informed decisions as users and producers of information and media content. More than ever, the world needs professionals, journalists, and reliable information to adapt its response to the spread of COVID-19, organize itself, learn from countries' experiences, and counter the increase of rumors and disinformation. In particular, UNESCO, with World Health Organization, launched a new massive open online course, MOOC, themed Journalists in Pandemic, covering COVID-19 now and in the future. The MOOC, which received the support from the Knight Foundation and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, was a 4-week online training program aimed at providing journalists with the necessary knowledge and tools to cover the COVID-19 health crisis and the social, financial, and political consequences it entails. Again, as many Ghanaian journalists as possible sign up for this opportunity to sharpen their skills in covering news in a pandemic. UNESCO also promotes open education resources, OERs, networks of fact-checkers, media and information literacy resources to counter the spread of disinformation, the use of digital technologies such as artificial intelligence in response to the crisis, as well as highlighting the importance of documentary heritage in past efforts to fight pandemics. Through capacity building resources such as curricular development, policy guidelines, and articulation and assessment framework, UNESCO supports the development of MIL competencies among people. Free and open online courses are available for self-paced learning about MIL. Through media information technologies, the organization facilitates networking and research through the Global Alliance for Partnership on MIL, GAPMIL, and MIL University Network. The recently launched MIL Clicks social media initiative is also part of UNESCO's strategy to enable media and information literate societies. UNESCO's mission is to engender media and information literate societies through a comprehensive strategy which includes preparation of modern media and information literacy curriculum for teachers, the facilitation of international cooperation, the development of guidelines for preparing national MIL policies and strategies, among other initiatives. Let me conclude by congratulating again Pen Plus Byte for its contribution, its dynamic contribution in the space. We can follow them daily, I would say minute by minute on the social media. Thank you for this work and this major contribution to MIL and to contributing first to edificate, to building peace in the minds of men and women. Thank you for bringing all together all the stakeholders, the key stakeholders, the universities, schools of journalism, the partners, W Academy, and National Commission of UNESCO, and of course, UNESCO institution, which is at your service, at the service of the member states and at the service of all citizens. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your attention. And now I am honored, and I've been given the privilege to contribute, I would say, to the launch of this 2020 celebration. I wish to invite close to me Professor Audrey. You will join me. I will put my mask. I will invite also the representative of W Academy,
There will be some fire.
the representative of Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Will be accused of
Journalism. Thank you, Professor. Pen Press Director, National Commission of UNESCO.
yes.
Professor Asare. So I think we are all together. And it's really my privilege and my honor to launch formally with all of you the 2020 Media and Information Literacy here in Ghana.
Head for UNESCO. We are so grateful for doing us this honor. So once our dignitaries have duly launched the 2020 Media and Information Literacy Week, I guess it's time for us to celebrate, network, and also share our perspectives and thoughts about how this year we can resist this infodemic and ensure that everyone understands the concept of media and information literacy. But before we start the networking, may I please have your attention? May I please have your attention? Before we start the celebration, I would like to recognize the presence of some people who have joined us for today's event. So we have here representatives from the Center for Democratic Development, CDD. We also have representatives from the Non-Formal Education Division of the Ministry of Education. Please, are you here? Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Now, can we please give them a round of applause? Non-Formal Education Division of the Ministry of Education. They are representing right here. We also have representatives from the National Commission for Civic Education. Are they also here? Let's give them a round of applause. NCCE, yes. It's very important you are here because, you know, when we are approaching elections, people need to be educated, especially to understand the tenets of media and information literacy so that we can all communicate effectively. I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Fred Avoyon. He's a friend of Pen Plus Bytes and he's always been here with us. Mr. Avoyon, we are so grateful. And last 2 weeks, he was one of my panelists for our Pen Plus Bytes webinar series where we discuss media and information literacy.